What's up, y'all? Welcome into the warm-up show here at FedEx Forum. We live here now. We've been here every day this week. It feels like our fourth game in 6 days. The Grizzlies back at it again tonight, trying to sweep this homestand with a game against the Utah Jazz. I'm Lang Whitaker. He's Michael Wallace. We're both with Grind City Media. We're going to get you ready for tonight's game. We've got about half an hour, then we'll throw you over to FanDuel Sports Network, ESPN 92.9 for their pregame shows. Game tips in an hour, 7:30 here from FedEx Forum. It's Spirit Night. We've got the Spirit. We got the Spirit, right?
Yes.
Yes, we do. We got Spirit. How about you? We're getting ready. The Grizzlies coming in. The Grizzlies coming in 30-15. The Utah Jazz, you can almost flip that around, 10-32. I think they're in rebuild mode as you look at it. But the Grizzlies got a big win last night. Didn't play that great in the first half. Gave up 71 points in the first half to the New Orleans Pelicans, but had a great second half. Ended up getting the 139-126 win against New Orleans. Bane ended up getting the start at PG without Ja, 20-14. Luke Canard was going crazy, hitting threes, although finished 7 for 9 from before. Big win for this Grizzlies team, and I think feels like they're kind of finding a groove, Mike.
It feels like they're finding a groove, and they are finding a groove. When you talk about what they've been able to do, particularly here at home, but overall, you know, over these last 2 months, right? I mean, this team is not going to be, nothing is flukish about what the Grizzlies are doing. Lang, I frankly think that Desmond Bane played his best game of the season last night. To me, in terms of finding the efficiency with his shot, he shot 50% from the field. He knocked down threes. Obviously, the 14 assists is just astronomical in terms of a number for him, and his impact on the game. He also had to do it defensively, too. Because, you know, C.J. McCollum and DeJounte Murray had it going in that first half. You had to turn off the water, as Tony Allen would say with those guys. So between what Bane was able to do, Jaren, and obviously Luke Canard, this has been a remarkable homestand and a nice stretch for the Grizzlies.
Because we are live right now, Mike, I'm sending a link to my family so they can tune in and watch too. Yeah, no, Desmond was awesome last night. You know, that's the same lineup the Grizzlies against the Spurs a couple weeks ago when Ja was sick. You know, you think Scottie Pippen's a backup point guard, but instead of using him like as the starter, they still bring him off the bench. And they go with that Canard and Dez together, and it just gives you so much shooting. It's kind of ridiculous the way they were playing.
Who are you going to cheat off of? And then you still have Jaren Jackson Jr. in the middle of the lineup. And Jalen Wells. So you have 3 legitimate floor spacers. And Zach Edey, oh, by the way, is comfortable taking that three-point shot. So it's almost like pick your poison. You can't leave any one of those guys. And when Jaren has it going like he did with a 30-point night, that might be the most unstoppable version of the Grizzlies. The sad part is, though, they still get bored against lesser, inferior teams. And that can cost them against tougher competition, but they're able to overcome it.
We saw it against 2 games ago against the Hornets when they had the big lead at halftime. And then gave up 70 in the second half to the Hornets. Gave up 71 last night against the Pelicans. 141 points over 4 quarters. But they spread it over 2 games.
Over 2 games,
but that consistency defensively is something I think they've got to figure out. Before the game tonight, Taylor Jenkins talked about having some of that home court advantage and building a true home court advantage. Here's a clip of Taylor before the game tonight talking about trying to have that real home court advantage here at FedEx Forum.
Yeah, not worried about any accomplishments outside of just what we're faced today. But it's been good all season long, just, you know, taking care of business at home. You know, I think the energy's been awesome in FedEx Forum night in, night out. I think our guys just approach every single day to taking care of business at home compared to last year. It's been at a different level, but we know we still have a whole lot more work, and, you know, and then you flip it and we're about to go on the road, you know, tomorrow. And, you know, I think our road success is just a product of our guys just leaning into what we care about every single day, no matter who we're playing, where we're playing, and just focusing on that.
So it's really about finding that consistency on the defensive end, I think, for this Grizzlies team. What have you seen, especially like these last couple games? You know, do you think it's just a matter of staying locked in for 4 quarters?
It's a matter because they play with so much energy. We still are seeing this team adjust to having to play that pace. This isn't a pace that takes a possession or 2 off. Like when you're playing at this kind of pace and this kind of spacing, that's every single time you get the ball, and you also have to do it on the defensive end too. It's just human nature, man. It comes and goes. You do get tired. Sometimes guys are playing extended minutes. Sometimes guys are playing in short bursts and are trying to find a defensive rhythm. But we've seen it. We've seen it kind of, be an ebb and flow type situation.
Yeah.
But the thing that Taylor talked about in that clip there, too, the Grizzlies have the third best home record in the NBA right now. They've only lost 5 games at home this year. 2 years ago, they only lost 6 games at home over the course of an entire season when they set the home record. So building that continuity here at home is going to be key. This is the second time this season they have a chance to sweep a home streak of at least 4 games. Yeah. And if they can do that tonight, then they take that on the road, and they're going to have a tough test defensively up in New York on Monday.
Grizzlies are 18-5 at home, have a chance to go 19-5 tonight if they can get this win. Then you only have, after this stretch of 4 games in 6 days, you have the game Monday and a game Thursday. So you got a little bit of time to breathe and rest and get your legs back underneath you.
But it gets tougher again, though.
Yeah,
because you got New York.
Yeah.
You got Houston, right?
From what I saw, the Grizzlies have the 3rd toughest schedule for the rest of the season.
Yes, no
so
question.
it's going to get tough. And look, it's the NBA. Every game's tough. One of the guys last night, we mentioned him, Canard, was amazing last night. Finished 27 points, 7 and 9 on threes. He had 6 assists. Also, 27 points in 27 minutes. How about this? Canard is now the league leader in 3-point percentage this season. He's number 2 in NBA history in 3-point accuracy. And he's 14 for 20 from the 3-point range in his last 2 games. Now the second player, do you know the answer? The second player in franchise history to make at least 7 consecutive threes in games.
I cheated because I read the notes, right? So I know it's Mike Miller. Yeah, I know it's Mike Miller. And it was going to be like a Mike Miller. My second guess was going to be like a Shane Battier, right? But Shane wasn't really a 3-point shooter at that point. You know what I mean? But yeah, Mike Miller, shout out to Mike Miller. Canard has some great company right now, and you want to see him continue to be aggressive. That's been the key. Yeah,
how about the way he's letting it fly? Like he's not even just like coming off screens and shooting. He's in the half court creating shots.
Off the dribble,
getting into the paint, looking for that free throw range jumper. I don't know if I've ever seen Luke playing the way he's been playing the last couple weeks.
No, I haven't either. And he said that too. He said that this is something new for him, but he feels obligated to do this because the team needs it. They've demanded it from him. And ever since, again, we know where the schedule is with this season, right? There's the trade deadline. You're midway through the schedule. Your body is telling you one thing. Mentally, you got to stay locked in because your name has been surfaced in different reports. Yeah. But Luke has found a way to play his most accurate basketball, and he's definitely an asset for this team. Yeah. I can't imagine the Grizzlies going down the stretch without that kind of production if he can keep it going.
I know. I mean, you bring in him and Santi off the bench. He gives you. That's one of the reasons the Grizzlies have the #1 scoring bench in the NBA. The other guy who's been pretty great and is sort of starting to find some consistency now is Zach Edey. He's been in and out of the starting lineup. Last night he finished with 13 points, 9 assists, 24 minutes. But to me, that he was a plus 24 in the minutes he was on the court in the 24 minutes. He changed his things for the Grizzlies. What do you think? I know there's been this big argument on Grizz Twitter. Should we give him the ball more? What do we do? What do you think his best role is for this team?
You have to keep Zach Edey engaged. You have to keep him engaged offensively. Because he's just big. He's a target. He's running the floor, and teams are afraid to go at the rim or even look at the rim when he's there on the defensive end. So you got to reward that presence. And as long as Zach Edey is willing to crash the board and get offensive rebounds, to be a dump-off guy in that so-called dunker spot on the low block where he can make plays, that's what he needs to do. I don't think you need to just say, okay, throw it into him like he's Ewing or Olajuwon. That's not where he is right now. But you got to be able to give a change-up every now and then, particularly when he's willing to run the floor and do the rim runs.
Yeah, and when he gets it in the post, sometimes, we're seeing teams double him, trying to make him make decisions, which is not his forte at the moment because he's used to getting the ball and just going to work in the post and having some barbecue chicken down there. And it's a little bit harder now against bigger players, and I think and
faster players who are just as strong as he is. And that's where Zach, I think the biggest surprise has been, is that guys that look slight are still strong. They have grown man strength. And that quickness is also giving him a problem, but he can work his way through it.
Yeah, we have some injury updates. Ja Morant is good to go tonight. He was probable with illness because everybody's been sick around here the last week.
Is that a left or a right illness?
Yes. Jake LaRavia is out. He had lower back soreness. Taylor Jenkins said he went through the pregame workout. They were going to kind of let him see how he feels. With a couple days off now, he's going to be out tonight. Yuki's out with the G League, as is Zion Pullen. Santi Aldama's still out with an illness. They want to see how he feels tomorrow morning when he wakes up. Marcus Smart, coach said he went through some workouts recently. Still getting closer to getting back. Kim Spencer had the thumb surgery. Right. Vince Williams with the ankle. He's still on his way back, too. For the Jazz, they got a lot of guys out, too. Jordan Clarkson with a foot. Cody Williams with an ankle. John Collins with the illness. Johnny Juzang with the hand. Bryce Sensabaugh is playing for them tonight. But they've got a bunch of stuff they're dealing with, too. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Jessica Benson's going to join us. You're watching the warm-up show here on Grind City Media.
Jay Huff. Were you comfortable there in your seat?
I'm great. You know, I've been adjusting it, playing around with the height settings.
What are you exactly? 7'1" or 7 even? Or
I say 7'2" because I wear shoes.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Congratulations to the Titans. All of their misery and woe will pay off with the #1 pick.
You got the #1 overall pick as a GM. You would do what?
You want to know the first thing that comes to my mind?
What?
Travis Hunter.
Okay.
He's the best player in the draft.
Okay.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Derrick Rose was honored in Chicago this weekend.
That was cool.
Former Memphis Tiger. One of the things I've noticed about him, he's immensely respected by his peers.
Yes.
People love him. People love Derrick Rose. I don't know exactly how to pinpoint it, but he matters to people. The impact that guy made in his hometown, on that franchise, and just on basketball in general, he deserves. There ain't an honor you could give him that I would argue with.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. When's the last time you guys played a little one-on-one?
It was, I don't even know, like maybe last summer, and there's some footage out there that doesn't want to be released. Like he claims he took it easy on me, but I always beat him.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the warm-up show here on Grind City Media. I'm Lang Whitaker, joined by Jessica Benson. We are courtside here at FedEx Forum. The Grizzlies getting ready to take on the Utah Jazz. It's our 4th game in 6 days, and it's been it's a marathon, not a sprint. This has been a sprint inside of a marathon, but we're almost at the end. This is after today.
A sprint inside of a marathon.
Yeah, how you like that?
What a concept.
Grizzlies trying to go 19-5 at home if they can get this win tonight, trying to win their sweep the homestand, to win their 4th in a row here at FedEx Forum. Jessica joins me, as always, at this time to talk about tonight's main character. Who is tonight's main character?
Okay, well, I think I crushed the main character yesterday with Luke Canard.
Luke Canard, you nailed that one.
7 threes again. Tonight, I'm going to go with Zach Edey.
Okay.
I'm going to say Zach Edey and how he matches up against Walker Kessler. That is a matchup that in Summer League, in our first glimpses of Zach Edey as a Memphis Grizzly, he found great success. Then that first game of the season, he fouled out, only made it 15 minutes. It was his first game as a rookie. And so now the opportunity to really show the growth. And I thought last night's matchup for Zach Edey was a promising one. His first double-double of January, first double-digit scoring effort of the new year. There's been an intentionality of feeding Edey early, and I think you've seen those successful returns begin to pick up again with his play.
Edey finished 13-9 last night. In 24 minutes, he was a plus 24 on the court. So clearly he made a difference on the game. Mike and I were talking about with Zach Edey, like, what do you feel like his best role is? We talked about it on your show Friday morning. Like, you don't just dump it to him in the post because that's not how the offense works, but there's some fit, I think, for him in this offense.
It's almost dump it to him in the post and have him pass out of the post. If he has the opportunity and has the shot there, you've seen him grow more confident with the hook shot and just having more confidence in catching the ball. Like that can be rookie problems, and sometimes just figuring out how to work within a very fast-paced, constantly moving offense. But there were a couple opportunities where between setting screens, a la what was so successful for Steven Adams in the previous iterations of this Grizzlies offense, but just seeing how he's able to kind of be a connector piece, I guess, is what it really comes down to.
I saw you had a tough decision to make this morning at the Hive Bakery. What was your choice?
Shout out Hive Bakery.
Yeah,
I go there way too much.
Yeah.
The fact that it's within walking distance is dangerous. I got a red velvet brownie croissant, which I'm not usually like it was too decadent. Like normally I avoid the super decadent ones, but it was just, it called my name, and it was fantastic.
Look, we've had a tough week, man. We gotta
I was like, I need a little treat to get me through the morning.
Got you through. We're here.
I made it.
Through tonight.
I made it.
We'll be here. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. You're gonna watch a clip of me and Jessica on her show yesterday morning talking about why we think Jay Huff should be in the dunk contest. Check this out. We'll be right back in a second.
Unless Luke Canard decides that he's ready to enter the dunk contest.
Jay Huff
Someone
wants
said,
to do it.
I would.
Yeah.
Jay Huff save the dunk contest.
That would be amazing. Can we start a campaign for Jay Huff to be in the dunk contest?
Yes, and do we think that...
We need some Huff riders out here to roll for Jay Huff and get him in this dunk contest. NBA, you need a fourth person.
Right.
Jay Huff wants to do it.
You're not going to get Ja Morant in the dunk contest.
Ja's not doing
what
it.
if I told you you could get
his teammate
Jay Huff, and perhaps like a special appearance by Ja helping
or
Jay
get like
Huff.
Yuki out there to like throw him an alley-oop.
How about all three?
Yeah, whatever.
Like a Ja to Yuki to Jay Huff.
Yeah. Triple
loop.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm glad that we've saved the dunk
Triple
contest.
hoops. Welcome back to the warm-up show here on Grind City Media. Lang Whitaker. I'm joined now by our director of live entertainment for the Memphis Grizzlies, Amber Uribe. Welcome to the warm-up show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So I wanted you to come on because tonight's Spirit Night.
Yep.
And I don't really know what that means. I mean, I know like I've seen there's lots of like cheerleaders and dance teams and all that stuff here tonight. Is that sort of what we're celebrating tonight?
Yeah, definitely. So tonight is Spirit Night. It is presented by Varsity Spirit.
Which is a local company, right?
Yep. So we do have a ton of cheerleading and dance teams here in attendance, as well as they were here participating in a dance clinic earlier today, and they are going to be showcasing that during our pregame today as well.
Why was I not asked to lead part of the dance clinic?
You're welcome to come. There's still time.
Oh, there is?
There's still time. You can learn it real quick.
I can show them some moves.
5, 6, 7, 8, you know. Yeah.
Bossy, the jazz hands, I got it all.
Actually, there is a spirit finger cam later.
Yeah.
So.
I'm ready. Let's get it. You've been here now, what, 3 years?
This is my 4th season.
4th season, yeah.
Correct.
And you started, you were telling me this beforehand, as an NBA dancer.
That is correct. I actually started my NBA career as an NBA dancer with the Washington Wizards.
Okay, and so did you, but when you were growing up, were you into dance team, cheerleading, that kind of thing?
Yep.
Is that how you get into it?
I actually started in gymnastics.
Okay.
I did karate.
Yeah.
And then transitioned to dance. And then, you know, in high school I was in dance. And then, you know, luckily I saw an ad for audition when I was living in DC, and that's how I started. I'd never been to an NBA game before the one I was working at as a dancer.
And now you're the director of live entertainment. By the way, Ja Morant just took the court behind us. You might have heard the cheer. I saw him on the video. Ja's out here now. He's good to go tonight. So Ja's making his return tonight against the Utah Jazz. What does your job entail? You're the director of live entertainment.
Well, the easiest way to put it is that I help to oversee everything that happens in the game that's not basketball itself. So music, graphics, our, you know, halftime acts, grizz, timeouts, you know, all of that stuff.
So everything.
Yeah, everything that's not the X's and O's on the court, you know, I help to create and oversee and execute.
Yeah, I worked with you before, like last season, my son was involved in the kids' night.
Yeah.
And so I got to see what goes into it behind the scenes. And whenever I get dragged into like these skits and the timeouts and things like that, I get part of it too. And I sit next to you during the games up there, and you have the headset on. You're like keeping an eye on everything.
Yeah.
what's your favorite halftime act around the NBA? Because I know there's like this circuit of people who come through.
Yeah, there's definitely a ton of.
I don't want to get you in trouble by picking your favorite.
I mean, there's a ton of circuit acts that are very well known.
Red Panda, she's the goat.
You know, Simon Says.
Yes.
You know, all of those guys. I also really love the ones that we create in-house with our live entertainment teams. You know, the Grizz Girls, the Grannies, the Blue Bunch. Yeah. You know, all of those we put a lot of hard work into in-house. Last night we had a big collaboration with the Barquets. So I'm really proud of the work that, you know, our teams do to create those halftimes.
Yeah, I think what you guys do, it sort of gets overlooked sometimes because you come to the game and you kind of take for granted, you know, there's going to be stuff. There's the game and then there's the other stuff, and no one sees all the hard work you guys put in to make all that stuff happen. Especially like last night when it was the Barquets, and it's like that's not like a format you follow, right? Yeah. It's like you got to figure out how do we have this band perform at halftime and make it something.
Yeah, and obviously that group means a lot to Memphis, and you know, making that halftime unique and entertaining and meaningful is something that myself and my team really take pride.
Yeah, well, your team's all watching you right now. They're all excited. They've never seen you without the other headset on.
Yeah, I have my other headset.
Yeah, so they're pointing, they're waving. So I'm going to let you get back to them, but thank you for joining us. And I want to get you back on here. You're in the rotation now. You're in the family.
What? Oh,
so you'll come back on again.
Oh man, I don't know.
You have an open invite.
I'm busy. I hear something kind of going. They need some help over there.
Thanks for coming on. Amber's the best. We're going to take another break. We'll be back in a second with Michael Wallace. You're watching the warm-up show here on Grind City Media.
Dusty May was at Florida Atlantic last year. Tonight you'll watch him coach at Michigan. So why do I care if a football player decides to leave one place where he's making whatever money to go somewhere where he's making even more? It's what most coaches do every year. So I cannot stand it, and I mean can't stand it when the coaches sit up there and act like these young people are doing something wrong.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
If I was a high school player, or if, let's say I'm the father of a child who's 16 years old, and Mike Vick comes knocking on my kid's door, and Virginia's there also, and so is Virginia Tech, I'm like, yo, you got to go where Vick is. You got to go to Norfolk State.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
So these are a pair of Kobe 11 Elite Low. These were part of a collaboration with FC Barcelona.
I've never seen these in person. The detail on these are amazing.
It's fly knit, like, you know, the front of the shoe's fly knit. It's got the lunar lawn, I remember, and the
insole is removable.
Yeah. The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
I'm not going to let you get away with this.
Yeah, that's fine. I deserve it.
You walked in here on Friday afternoon and said
the smoke
every day for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
You have said, I am John Buckeye.
I said once the playoff matchups were made, you asked what I thought. I said Ohio State's going to beat them by double digits. I said Ohio State's. I walked it all back and went John Vol. I joined General Nealon's Navy.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back to the warm-up show here on Grind City Media. We're a couple of minutes from getting you over to the pregame shows. This is the giveaway item tonight. It's a poster of the Grizz Girls. I meant to show this earlier. It is Spirit Night tonight.
People wanted to see that way before they wanted to see us.
I know. I meant to bring it up when Amber was here, but this is the Grizz Girls poster you get when you come in the gate tonight. We are about 6-7 minutes from being done here and getting you to the other pregame shows. Grizzlies taking on the Utah Jazz tonight, trying to sweep this homestand, trying to move to 31-15 overall. Is that correct? 31-15.
That's correct. That's correct. And not only that, a win tonight.
What's up, Devin?
A win tonight coupled with a Houston loss in Cleveland the Grizzlies flip-flop, and they moved to second place.
2 overall.
Yeah, and then obviously they're down 3-0 in the season series against the Rockets, but it means something to be back up to number 2 if you can get a win tonight and get Cleveland to do you some justice tonight as well.
So, as we always do at this time, we're going to go around the NBA and look at some of the bigger stories happening around the league. And let's start with the All-Star game. They announced the starters Thursday night. We saw on TNT they made the announcement. Were there any big surprises to you, Michael?
No, just the legacy guys. I mean, you know that we know from the Western Conference, basically Steph, Durant, LeBron James are all legacy guys, right?
Yeah.
They're not necessarily having the seasons that would warrant them being starters, but you give them that. You give them the respect that they're due. Shea and Nikola Jokic, 2 MVP frontrunners right there.
Yeah.
No questions at all with the West.
Towns?
Well, I'll tell you what. Jalen Brunson is the one that jumps out to me.
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion that LaMelo Ball got robbed. Like, he flat out got robbed.
All right, I disagree with you.
I mean, the fact of the matter is this dude was way out in front in terms of the popular vote.
The fan vote.
The fan vote. But I mean, for him to get taken down like that, I don't like the voting at all, honestly, the way the voting system is. But other than that, man, look, I'm fine with the West for sure. The East makes sense for the most part. Cat is having a phenomenal year.
We saw LaMelo Ball here the other night and watched him play, and I was like, he's not that good. I mean, he's fine. He's put up numbers on a terrible team.
Yeah.
Taking a lot of shots. Jalen Wells shut him down. Like, you know, that can't be one of the 2 best guards in the conference. However,
based on what fans want to see.
I also understand, and I've made this case for years from back when I was at Slam. This is the All-Star game. It's not the All-NBA game.
Right.
The fun police always get involved and try to say, oh, you got to be on a winning team and all that. We should have some fun guys in the game, but I think Jalen Brunson helps kind of fit that bill, and the Knicks have been a really good team.
Oh, he's definitely all 10 of those guys that are on that list.
Yeah,
we're going to get on there whether the coaches vote them in or the fans. So legitimate list. The real controversy comes this coming week. When some very, very difficult decisions have to be made.
It'll be interesting to see who gets named Thursday night when they name the All-Star reserves. The coaches are going to vote on. There was an interview this week with Anthony Davis. I'm sorry, with the league. I just talked about the Pacers off camera, and I was thinking about Dale Davis and Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis did an interview this week with ESPN and talked about the Lakers and was talking about how he feels like they're right there. They're 24-18 right now, but they need to add a center. What's your take on that?
Because they have Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis never wants to be a center. Like, he never has wanted to be a center, and he never does want to be a center. He feels like it's just too much physically for him to endure. That's not the place I would go. I mean, they have Christian Wood. They just don't play him. Like, they have guys down there. They just don't play him. But I wouldn't think that the Lakers, if they're going to make a move, I don't think it would be for a center.
I wouldn't either. And I would say I would turn to Anthony Davis and be like, hey, man, you're at the same time, look how the Grizzlies use Jaren Jackson, and they got a big to put next to him. And I can see, but you got
occasionally.
But you got LeBron, you got Anthony Davis. That's a lot of size already in a league. In a league that's going smaller every single game. You're going to see behind us now, Spirit Night, like we said. They're getting out here. They're about to get ready. The last thing, the NBA had a game in Paris this week. The Spurs played against
Pacers.
The Pacers. The Pacers beat them the second game. Played over in Paris at the home of Victor Wembanyama over there. But Adam Silver did a press conference over there where he talked about how the NBA is looking into that European expansion. We've heard about it, hadn't heard much about it lately. He talked about the NBA possibly starting a whole league over there, not just putting a team or 2 over there.
Right.
Do you think that's what's next for the NBA, or do we get the U.S. expansion? Because we've heard about Seattle and Vegas forever, too.
Well, first and foremost, everywhere Adam Silver goes, he gets asked that question, right? When they played the Mexico games in Mexico City, yes, we'd love to explore the opportunity to have a team down in Mexico, right? So everywhere he goes, yes, there's a hope that there can be expansion there. I do think if you do an NBA league, you have to have 4, 5, 6 teams. You almost have to take a G League approach. But I'm also connecting some dots. My man Windhorst wrote the story, and I'm also connecting dots. Didn't LeBron James and his group, Maverick Carter, talk about another league that they're going to try to start?
Trying to get $1 billion something to do it.
Maybe you do that in Europe. LeBron already has vested interest over there in the soccer community with what they're doing in terms of So that wouldn't be too far-fetched from that standpoint. I don't know. What do you think?
I wouldn't be surprised. We've talked about it forever. But the thing has always been, if you're going to put a team over there, how is is the team from the U.S. going to go over there and play against them?
You got to have multiple.
Because the travel thing,
yeah.
So you'd have to have a couple stops.
Yeah.
So it makes more sense to just put a league over there, and then maybe you either compete with or try to get to be part of the Euro League, which already exists, where they play all the other teams. Or maybe the NBA tries to buy into the Euro League or set up their, I don't know.
There you
but
go.
There's got to be some option there.
But to Silver's point, though, he did say we operate and run leagues. They have the NBA, they have the G League, right?
WNBA,
they have the
2K
WNBA,
League, the
2K
Africa League.
and the Africa, Basketball Africa League. So they already have the blueprint if they want to establish it.
Cheerleaders are done. We got the spirit up. Camera's shaking. The floor is rocking. We're about a minute away from getting you out of here. Give me one more matchup, Mike, you want to watch tonight when the Grizzlies take on the Jazz.
I like Lauri Markkanen versus Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah.
I really want to see how that matchup goes. There's some young guys on Utah's team that will provide some energy tests against the Grizzlies, but you got two all-star caliber producers when Lauri Markkanen is available.
All right, you can flip over right now to FanDuel Sports Network to catch pregame show with Fish, Verno, Brevin, and Pete. Turn over to ESPN 92.9 for Jessica, Eric, Elliot, and Bennett. And then we're going to be with you again on Thursday of next week when the Grizzlies take on the Houston Rockets. It's on TNT. We're going to have a supersized warm-up show for you. Just you'll see more about that leading up to it. So we appreciate you joining us tonight. Grizzlies taking on the Jazz, starting in half an hour. He's Michael Wallace. I'm Lang Whitaker. You've been watching the warm-up show here on Grind City Media.
Good job, man.